Greetings. So there's a term being bantered around lately in the IT security world, Cloud Infrastructure Enterprise Management, otherwise known as CIEM. So which of course is extremely relevant to enterprises today, since most enterprises have at least some of their IT systems in the cloud. So to dive into CIEM, I'll be asking some questions of our YouAttest CEO, Garrett, and then have a demo run by YouAttest Director of Deployments, Kashif. So first question over to you, Garrett. So what is CIEM?
Yeah, and yes, Ashley, and as CIEM, as you said, it's Cloud Infrastructure Entitlement Management, and it's as involved as its name implies. It includes all your entitlements to your cloud infrastructure and all your cloud infrastructure, wherever they may be. Right sizing permissions. This is interesting because we just did an audit Tuesday and this the other week. That is knowing the licenses you're actually paying for and not paying too many. And then lastly, which we talk about almost every Tuesday on this premise, compliance around the access that we have granted.
So that sounds pretty involved.
It's very involved, and it's way too painful to attempt CIEM manually. There's just too much to it. There's too much data. There's too many forms. There's too many sources. Most enterprises have multiple clouds and thus multiple admins that manage the different clouds. And these roles may or may not overlap.
So how are most companies managing and auditing these permissions today?
In a word, very poorly. Let me give you two stats. Palo Alto says 99% of cloud accounts are overly permissive. 99% of cloud accounts are overly permissive. That's a crazy number. Then Gartner says 95% of the cloud accounts they surveyed, fewer than 3% of the active entitlements are actually used. That means we're granting all of these permissions and they're not actually being used.
Wow, so 3%. So it sounds like for CIEM to be effective and accurate, they should be doing access reviews of these account privileges.
Absolutely. I don't think user access reviews are any more relevant than the cloud because it's so ubiquitous and so easy to put up resources and forget what we gave access to. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Kashif show how YouAttest can automate these cloud admin audits. Kashif will act as the YouAttest enabled risk manager, and Ashley will be the admin manager and review the privileges. Take it away.
Perfect.
Thanks, Garrett. I hope you can see my screen.
100%.
Great. So what we're going to do, this is my Azure AD environment where we have created two groups. One is the group called AWS admins, and it has users to it with various privileges, including infrastructure engineers, support engineers, and you name them. The other one is Azure admins, and it has also certain users associated with that group. They are group members. So we are going to target these two groups in YouAttest, which, this is the dashboard for the product. So we are going to create group audits and target these two groups to do the review for access each of the members has to these two groups. Let me just show you how to create those audits. I'll just go create a group audit, select the source, which is my Azure AD, give it a name. I'll just call it AWS admins. And you have to select a date, a time frame by which this audit is due or should be completed within that time frame. I'll just click next. On the next screen, it's going to ask you which group do you want to target. I'll just type in the first three words and see if it pops up, because the integration is there with my Azure AD, so it will fetch the information in real time. So AWS admin is here, infrastructure servers. I'm going to select that. Plus, I have three options. Either I can select active users, I can select inactive users only, or I could go for all users, including the two previously stated. Click done. And now what the system is doing, it's fetching the information in real time from my Azure environment and populating that information as a campaign inside YouAttest. Let me just do a little refresh here, And here we go. We have 4 unique users that are part of these of this admin group here. Let's go inside and see who they are. So remember, I am the admin, acting as the admin of YouAttest. I'm not going to do the attestation. I'm not going to do the review. I'm going to delegate it out to the relevant people, the managers, or whoever is responsible for these individuals that I see here. So I have these users here, the name, their email IDs, and the manager who they report to. They're all on the front page. Plus, I have some more details, including what's the title of this person. He's a support engineer. His status is active. If there are some other roles, it will be mentioned here under against the role. Same is the case with others. This is the system admin. His role is active, and so forth. What I'm going to do, I can go individually and assign it to anyone, but the most common and popular method to do this delegation is the auto delegate, which is like a single click operation. What it does, it will pick up these managers' information here and will push out emails and notifications to them, letting them know that they have an audit or they have a review waiting for them. So I'll just go ahead and click on auto delegate. So there are 2 options. One is to user manager. The other one is to the group owner, which we have right here. If you want to see who the group owner is, here's the information right underneath the audit name or the group name. But I'll just go ahead and instead of selecting the group admin, I'll choose manager and perform auto delegation for all the users. So here we go. And now let me do a little refresh to show you that the action has been executed and all these users, they have been delegated out to these managers over here. One of these managers is Ashley. Now she's going to take control as a reviewer and show you what she has in her inbox. Go ahead, Ashley.
Perfect, thank you. Give me 1 second while I pull this up. Okay, so here I am in my inbox. And again, so Kashif's the admin, I'm the reviewer, right? So I get this email. All I need to do is click this hyperlink here. So what Kashif saw as the risk manager is he saw everything. He saw all the managers, who reports to who. I don't need to see all of that information. It's too much information. It'll get confusing for you reviewers. I only want to see, in this scenario, I have 2 people that report to me. So I only want to see these 2 people. So what I can do is if I can click on more detail. So this will show me some more information like the role, user ID, anything else that I want to see. I can go in here, I can click on these 3 dots, I can add any comments that I want, and this will show up in the audit report. So anything that I want to say about this particular user, any notes I want to add, I can go ahead and add that there. But most importantly, I have these 3 options, right? So I can certify. So if in this scenario, if Azar has access to everything that he should, if there's no issues, I can go ahead and certify. I can revoke. So let's say Azar has access to something that he should not. For example, he moved departments. He is no longer in payroll. He shouldn't have access to ADP. I can revoke his access for that. Or let's say that Kashif, as the risk manager, delegated me Azar. He actually reports over to Garrett now. So instead of having to go back to Kashif, all I would have to do is just delegate right over to Garrett. Just save some time. So let me show you just what the certification process looks like. I can click here, which clicks everyone, which is super handy when you have a ton of employees. I can certify. And then just like when Kashif did his portion, that green banner pops up. And so that means that I'm good to go. So that's all I had to do, couple clicks, and I move on with my day job.
Great. And that's about it. I mean, within a few minutes, Ashley's done. And now what I see on my end as the admin, I'll just go and refresh the page here. And I see that Ashley has done her job. She has certified these 2 users who've been assigned to her. And it all comes back with the timestamp and action taken. With the status, it's 100% complete. Now, all I have to do is wait for the rest of the 2 users who've been assigned to another manager to complete the task so that I could just go back here to the listing page and either I can get the report out or execute these within my Azure environment. And the report looks something like this at the end, which you can share with your internal and external auditor, and it will have all the attributes, the user profile, status, and action taken by whom, and what was the action taken, and at what time and date. And that's about it.
Fantastic, guys. Great overview of how to audit your CIEM, your Cloud Infrastructure Entitlement Management System. Fantastic.
Yep, great demo, Kasha. So audience, if you are struggling with your CIEM, and I bet you are, contact us at info@youattest.com and we'll get you going on your cloud infrastructure identity audits. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.